Milaba, this is the weekly highlight news of Radio and UG. I'm James. Here are the news highlights for this week. The Union Prime Minister of the National Unity Government, m.CDMMyanmar, attends the Interim Local Public Administration Development Central Committee meeting. The Union Minister for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the National Unity Government, m.CDMMyanmar, and the Union Minister for the Ministry of Planning, Finance and Investment, meets members of the Korean House of Representatives. The Union Minister for the Ministry of Human Rights of the National Unity Government, m.CDMMyanmar, urged the inclusion of the Myanmar issue in the International Labour Conference, ILC, and other interesting news. These are the weekly news details. The Union Prime Minister of the National Unity Government, m.CDMMyanmar, attended the Interim Local Public Administration Development Central Committee meeting number 70/2024 on 23rd of May. At the meeting, the Union Prime Minister remarked that he would like to urge the ministers to conduct the meetings themselves since it is critical that there is no misunderstanding between the revolutionary forces and that, if necessary, we can meet and discuss the difficulties. The Union Prime Minister also stated that he would like to urge people to properly manage the administration's establishment as a sector that will assist the revolution move forward. He emphasized that they had to deal with the public in anything they do. The members of the Central Committee presented the decision made at the 16/2024 meeting, the accomplishments of the preceding tasks, the ongoing processes. The officials also discussed extensively about the implementation tasks. The meeting was attended by the Union Prime Minister, Union Ministers, Deputy Ministers, Permanent Secretaries, Joint Permanent Secretaries, and concerned officials. The Union Minister for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the National Unity Government, m.CDMMyanmar, and the Union Minister for the Ministry of Planning, Finance and Investment, met with 4 members of the Korean House of Representatives and Sangongwell University Political Science Professor Baek On on 20th of May. During the meeting, Korean parliamentarians reiterated their commitment to supporting the development of Myanmar's democratic system after the military takeover. While summarizing the current situation in Myanmar and the implementation tasks of the NUG, the Union Foreign Minister, while summarizing the current situation in Myanmar and the implementation tasks of the NUG, the Union Foreign Affairs Minister stated that the terrorist military junta has been defeated in our sector and the revolutionary people are progressing and achieving by increasing controlling areas, cooperating with ethnic organizations in politics, military and financial sector, and building the federal system from the ground up. Furthermore, the Union Minister urged the Korean government to maintain the principle of no communication with the terrorist military junta that sought to regulate the military economic restriction imposed by the previous government on the terrorist military junta, so that the current government does not reduce them, and the parliament to monitor the affairs of the Korean POSCO and the terrorist military junta doing businesses. The Union Minister emphasized the NUG government's ability to control their territory and provide tax bases. Lee Yong-song, a member of the parliament, stated that the Korean government's policies of no recognizing the terrorist military junta remains unchanged. The parliament is watching and they have reiterated their commitment to encourage the Korean government to provide humanitarian relief and adopt constructive initiatives. The Union Minister for the Ministry of Human Rights of the National Unity Government, m.CDMMyanmar, informed the media that during a trip to New Zealand in May, he urged officials to discuss the Myanmar issue at the International Labour Conference, ILC. The Union Minister stated that in June, there would be a tripartite meeting of the employers, workers, and government officials from all countries, known as the ILC. During the period, employers and trade unions should include and express the Myanmar issue whenever possible, report all human rights and labor rights violations in Myanmar accredited NUG through the ILC, and take additional criminal action through the ILO against the crimes committed by the terrorist military junta. m.CDMMyanmar is now gathering support for its proposal that Myanmar terrorist military junta not represent the country at the International Labour Conference. The Ministry of Human Rights of the National Unity Government has released a statement notifying people to the circulation of the fake declaration. In a fake statement, it was found that the phrases including inciting to worsen ethnic and religious conflicts in Rakhine State. Therefore, the NUG government published the following official statement on 21st of May. The National Unity Government is alarmed by grave reports on the situation in Budidao Township in northern Rakhine State. The terrorist military junta is purportedly making intercommunal conflicts by creating chaos, the large-scale destruction, bombing and area attacks on the villages. Rakhine, Rohingya and Hindu civilians are being forced to move and their houses are being hacked. Some distressing reports also allege that an unconfirmed number of the civilians have been killed and wounded. We are deeply concerned that violations in northern Rakhine State may be ongoing. The National Unity Government issued a statement on 21st of May, expressing its concern about the situation in Budidao Township in northern Rakhine State. The National Unity Government is very concerned about the terrorist military junta burning houses of local Arakan and Hindu people in Budidao Township with the intentions of causing ethnic conflict, as well as airstrikes and heavy weapon attacking, forcing local people, including Rohingya, to flee and burning buildings and villages. In addition, the NUG concerned some distressing reports allege that an unconfirmed number of the civilians have been killed and wounded. They are deeply concerned that violations in northern Rakhine State may be ongoing. The National Unity Government joins others in calling for the cessation of all attacks on civilians and civilians' property, for the protection of all civilians' property and objects, particularly those persons most vulnerable, and for the immediate and unhindered delivery of the humanitarian assistance to all the persons in need, including cross-border. The National Unity Government is fully committed to its international humanitarian and human rights law obligations, including through our military code of conduct. They hold themselves to this statement and expect the same of all attacks and forces in Myanmar. The Arakan Army AA, which controls Budidao Township, announced on 20th of May that the terrorist military junta forces, those who train the people, are destroying houses and planning for a religious riot. These are the weekly highlight news of Radio NUG. We will present more interesting weekly local news to you. Thanks for joining our news.